When it comes to UA's Hero Corps students in Class 1A, two students have become sort of a guiding beacon for the whole class. These two raise the bar and inspire students to do their best, if not go beyond their best. Though, when it comes to Class 1B, it would appear that that job falls into the hands of one person. Luckily, she has hands big enough to carry that weight. I'm talking about the star student of Class 1B, Itsuka Kendo, also known as Battle Fist.
Ever since the day of
Itsuka Kendo is one of UA's top students. Going from 5th place in the entrance exam to being the student council president of 1B, she works hard to make sure her class is happy and organized, either by forfeiting opportunities to her classmates or acting as team mom or big sis, making sure everyone is okay and happy. Along with this, she's the first to jump into danger to protect her friends, and is someone who lives by the ideals of being a hero. Though before we get too into that, we should discuss the meaning behind her name. Itsuka Kendo is a name that follows the universal naming theme of Hiroaka quite well. Starting first with her given name, Itsuka, which when broken down means excellent or beautiful one, which plays off the idea that Kendo is both an immensely talented Hero Corps student, but also considered very attractive or beautiful in the universe of the series. Hence the reason why she was recruited by Uwambi and was entered into the beauty pageant. But if her beauty pageant performance shows anything, it's that Kendo isn't girly. Horikoshi himself even describes her as a tomboy in her bio, and made her favorite things black coffee and motorcycles, two generally masculine things. Along with this mixture of beauty and grit can be found in her family name, Kendo, because when Kendo is broken down, you get fist and wisteria, with the wisteria being a type of flower commonly found in Asian regions, and is considered to be both beautiful and deadly given that its seeds are especially poisonous. Altogether, her name is Fist and Flower, which combines a generally masculine thing like punching and fists with a generally feminine thing such as flowers, thus reinforcing the idea that she is a tomboy. But also the first part of her family name is in direct reference to Kendo's own quirk, Big Fist. Big Fist is a transformation quirk that is very self-descriptive. It allows Kendo to expand the size of her hand or hands, seemingly at will. Though, what makes this quirk deadly is how it would appear that the fists not only become larger instantaneously, but they also gain mass on expansion, meaning that they are heavier and hit harder than her regular-sized hands, meaning that this isn't just an expansion of her reach. And Kendo can use these factors of her quirk to her advantage, as when fighting, Kendo can either use the instantaneous nature of her quirk to catch an enemy off guard, or add momentum to her strikes, significantly increasing their power. She is shown to be even strong enough to dent or crush a tungsten steel shield in a single strike, alongside being able to continuously bat away multiple shields without showing any sign of fatigue. She refers to this use of her quirk as her super move, that being Double Jumbo Fists. And it seems that she is also completely unaffected by the increase of weight or mass that comes with her big fists, which leads me to the only logical conclusion that Kendo is completely shredded beyond belief. Big hands? More like big abs. Though Kendo isn't limited to only combat uses of her quirk, she also has a decent variety of rescue and securing utility as well, either by using her newfound strength and size to lift and carry civilians out from danger, or covering and protecting them as they flee. Along with this, she's also able to restrain or secure a villain, and even flap her enlarged hands around to make giant gusts of wind to blow away poison gas. Now, the quirk Big Hands and Kendo's own hero uniform seem to be inspired by the at the time brand new Marvel superhero Kamala Khan, also known as Miss Marvel, who debuted in comics roughly 4 months before Kendo's own appearance in the Hiroaka manga, and featured a superpower called Transformation, which Kamala usually used just to make her fists massive size. Along with this, Kendo's own hero uniform, while being based obviously off of a Chungseom Chinese dress, which is pretty common for female characters who fight with martial arts, it also reflects Kamala's own Miss Marvel design, with a similar uniform and mask shape, and the only real difference being that Kamala wears a bodysuit underneath her uniform. Alongside this, Kamala and Kendo also share very tomboy natures about their characters. With Kamala being an avid fan of superhero lore and an MMORPG gamer, they both have hobbies not common of female characters at that time. time. And given that Horikoshi has drawn quite a few pieces of Marvel fan art, specifically Miss Marvel fan art, it's highly likely that he was well aware of Kamala Khan becoming the next Miss Marvel, and drew inspiration from her character for Kendo. Now you might be saying that on the surface, Kendo and her quirk seems rather underwhelming. This thought is even addressed in the series itself. But you see, it's not the quirk that makes the hero, it's the person using it. And Kendo doesn't just live up to that standard, she surpasses it. Using her own quick wits and strong decision-making abilities to make up for what her quirk lacks, she's able to formulate plans and effective strategies without fail during high-stakes situations, as shown not only in her placement during the entrance exam, her quick thinking during the training camp arc, and her performance in the 1A versus 1B battles. She's a natural-born leader, and this ability to make tough decisions in stressful situations is what naturally drew her class into looking up to her. Tetsu, 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 even referring to Kendo as Class 1B's own big sister figure. And we can see these big sister traits and how friendly and nurturing she comes off, not only wrangling in Monoma when he's going off, but also just in general checking in with others, like when she was asking Deku and Ida if they were okay after their run-in with Stain. We even see in the Hiroaka light novel School Briefs Volume 2 that during the sleepover with all the girls, Kendo is considered one of the coolest people in all of Year 1, voted this by her peers. Them even saying that if she was a guy, she'd probably be the most popular among the ladies. And it would seem that this praise that she receives from her peers pressures Kendo into doing things that she normally wouldn't, and having a hard time turning down requests from her classmates as she doesn't want to disappoint them. As when she's forced into the Culture Festival beauty contest by Monoma, she gives it her best shot instead of dropping out, even if her best really wasn't beauty pageant material. Though, if you ask me, she had my vote. The reason being that Kendo seems to love competitions and proving herself, thus is the reason that she hates being compared to Yaoyorozu, as she doesn't feel like she's earned the comparison, because on the surface, Momo, or Yaoyorozu, is superior both in quirk-wise and in grade-wise, so she feels that the only thing that binds them together is their looks, and Kendo is definitely someone who doesn't want to be known for something as superficial as her looks. She wants to be known for her fists, not her flowers. So she made it her mission to not only prove that she was just as good as Momo, but that she could overcome her. And overcome her she did, as not only did Kendo's tactical mind outshine Momo's, but she single-handedly dragged Momo, a massive cannon, and Toru to the capture zone, securing a victory for her team. Kendo truly is a plus ultra student and someone who doesn't think about what they can't do and focuses more on what she can. And if I had to give any future predictions for Kendo in the universe of Boku no My Hero Big Hand Academia, I would have to say that she might become more important as time goes on. Horikoshi has said in her bio that she hasn't really gotten her moment to shine yet, and she's pretty popular among his staff, so much so that she has appeared in a dozen or so different credits and has been redrawn with One for All. And if she does get brought into the spotlight, I can even imagine her quirk getting a bit of an upgrade, especially with how we've seen quirk evolution function so far in the series, changing big hands to just big. But we'll just have to wait and see for now. I can definitely see her and Momo having more character moments together, as their rivalry seems to have only just seriously begun. But until then, she'll maintain her position among Class 1B, inspiring them to do greater things. Because honestly, the B in Class 1B stands for Big Sis Itsuka. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like it in the future, I have a Patreon at patreon.com/ManyNotTheBadGuy. And if you want to test out your own big hands, well, the best thing to do is get yourself a copy of Shimonetta, A Boring World Where the Contrary Joke Doesn't Exist, at buyshimonetta.com.